All right, everybody. Welcome again to our chapter summit. I am Charles Woolen, the Assistant Director of Alumni Engagement. I oversee all of our chapters and affinity groups. Thanks so much for being here. We will recap the year and we will talk a little bit about our spring week, and we will talk a little bit about our online directory, which is called Graduate, but we like to call it our online directory, and you'll hear from both Meredith and Hannah. But I want to turn it over to the executive director of the Alumni Association, Meredith Jaggard, to welcome everyone here today.
Hey y'all, it's so great to see you. Hope that you have had a great summer. We're really looking forward to the fall and the spring. Lots of great things happening at the law school. This weekend, actually, folks are moving in to the new 198 building. So we're really excited and looking forward to telling you more about Spring Week that happened a few months ago, and then plans for Spring Week this year. Really want to thank you for everything you do for the Alumni Association and for UC Law SF.
Thanks so much, Meredith. And we're really excited about the new 198 building. In the background off of the glass here, you can actually see the building on the other side, which is really neat. And it's been a thrill to watch that go up as well. So I'll go ahead and get us started here with a bit of a recap on the year. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Can everybody see that there?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So I just want to start with our numbers. By the numbers here, we had 24 regional chapter and affinity group events during the 2022-2023 school year. This is not including our spring week events, which Meredith will chat about in just a little bit. Meaning we basically did essentially 12 events per semester, which was amazing. We have 21 groups overall. This is a standalone law school. We don't have a sports team. We don't have, a football program or basketball program, but we are a standalone law school. And we have 21 groups. And I just want to say very proud to be a part of that. We had a new chapter launched last year, November 2022 in Palm Springs and Inland Empire area. And we have one new affinity group, our Latinx alumni group, launching this year, just next month. Also, happy August, everybody. Well, let's talk a little bit about what kind of events that we've got going on. Look at that. Happy hours, community service, holiday parties, alum of the year, hikes and going outdoors, brunch with the dean, endowed scholarship launch, face-to-face networking with students, a brunch with the dean event. These are the kind of events that are pushing us forward and bringing people together. And I am very, very pleased at the different types of events that we have going. It shows our strength. It shows that we're doing different kinds of things. It shows that you're creative and you're offering something that folks in your area are going to want to see. Specifically, what are our groups doing? Well, our Black Alumni Council started fundraising for an endowed scholarship, and they're nearly there to create an endowed scholarship under the leadership of Andrew Houston and the Black Alumni Council. They have raised a lot of money and almost are at that $100,000 mark and are very, very close to being there. Once it's there, then they'll be able to give out a scholarship to a deserving Balsa student every single year. And that is the kind of impact that they are doing. Our DC alumni hosted a successful brunch with the dean event at the Kennedy Center. Everybody knows the Kennedy Center. It was a really wonderful event, a lot of fun. And David Fagman kept people in the room for 3.5 hours and everybody stayed. I mean, that was pretty awesome. West LA, they keep going with their traditions. They hosted the second annual Real Beer on the Beach, Santa Monica. San Diego, they broke a record for the most amount of folks that they've had out. They had around 50 people at Stone Brewing. The Denver Alumni chapter put on a baseball game, Rockies versus Giants at Coors Field. How fun is that? Our Austin alumni continue to deliver with intimate, small networking groups and building out their community in that Austin area. Our San Francisco chapter directly engaged students at the beginning of the year at Spark Social. Our Fresno group, they had a holiday party and then followed up with it just a couple months later with their Alum of the Year event that they do. Our LGBTQ alums celebrated Pride on the Sky Deck, and that was also a record turnout for our LGBTQ alumni. And our downtown LA group loves bringing people outdoors twice a year, plus in addition to happy hours that they're doing under the leadership of Rodolfo Estrada. So we're doing a lot. And this is just a glimpse of what we're doing. I could speak for forever on this, but I'm not going to. So what else is going on? We changed our name from UC Hastings to UC Law at the beginning of the year. We had an incredible Spring Week 2023 that Meredith's going to chat about, and I can't wait for her to present about our Spring Week, which we saw an incredible increase of participation, and our Day of Giving under the leadership of Hayden Reynolds, who is our Director of Annual Giving and Communications. And then you'll hear from Hannah Athanasios about our new online directory, which we launched at the beginning of the year, which has over 1,000 users. Yes, alumni and students being able to connect together online. 1,000 users. That just from January 2023 to August 1st, that is a wonderful clip. So I'm trying to get to the next slide. Hold on one second. There it is. I just want to thank you. We are an entirely volunteer-led and run group here. We succeed because you make this happen. And as David Fagman says, we're one big tent, and we're one big family here at UC Law, and formerly known as UC Hastings. But it's because of you that we've had these successes, and we're here to celebrate those successes. So before I turn it over to Meredith, I'm going to just pause this and come back here real quick and come back to you. Let me see here. And we are going to take a quick team photo because I know Lydia, who is our communications person, it wants to be able to take a quick team photo and write a little blurb about our gathering. So if we can take a quick team photo, and Lydia handles our website and our social media and write stories for our website as well. If we could just take a quick photo real quick.
And
yes, go ahead.
For those of us who are not put together today, can we put our bio picture on there?
If you want, but you look great,
one?
Kelly.
No, you look great. And also, like, don't worry, everybody's screen is like this small. So it's really, there's no details in this post. So don't worry about that at all. Please, like, put your camera on. It's just authentic, genuine, just to show of like a community support sort of thing. So I'm going to count us down and then we're just going to do a big screenshot. And again, it's super tiny. So please don't worry about it. All right. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna do one more. 1, 2, 3. Great. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Lydia, and thank you, everybody, again. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back to Meredith, who is going to give a little bit of a recap on our spring week from 2023 earlier this year.
Perfect. Thank you, Charles. Great presentation. It's so exciting to see the work that you're leading, and Hannah and Hayden and all of us at the Alumni Association. It's just thrilling. Okay, Hannah, do you mind sharing your screen? Thank you. Okay, so we gave this presentation to the board of directors about our creation of Spring Week. I presented this at the May meeting, and then also we presented this to about 30 plus alumni associations across the world who were very interested in changing up their reunion homecoming model. So you all should be proud to know that UC Law SF is leading the way in alumni association revamps. So here we go. All right, Hannah, next slide, please. So a little bit of history. Our past reunion model that I'm sure that you all have attended We had one reunion dinner during the fall. It was 12 classes in like the 4s or the 9s in class years. And then it was typically held off campus at the Fairmont or Palace Hotel. And it was an expensive endeavor. You can see the cost, you can see our ticket revenue. And it was about for 4 hours. They were great events, but we knew that we could do something a little different. So when the pandemic happened in 2020, we did a virtual reunion, and it was fun. It was the first time on Zoom. Zoom was kind of novel, so it was a good time. 2021 came around, and I'm pretty sure that we all were tired of Zoom. So we took 2021 to say, how can we reinvent the wheel? We met as a team and decided, let's have a good time. Let's showcase our new campus. Let's showcase what's going on at the law school. Let's engage in a new way besides at a sit-down dinner for 4 hours that you can see was quite expensive. Next slide, please. So we came up with Spring Week. We had 4 or 5 major events. This was in 2022. It was in May. I do want to note this was kind of coming out of the pandemic-ish. It was right after Omicron or Delta, kind of in a lull. So, and this was the first time that we said to alumni, we want to do something different. We want to celebrate you all. We want to celebrate reunion milestones. So we were really happy as the baseline. The biggest takeaway is the cost for all of our events was substantially lower than what we did for the dinners that we would have every year. And we really showcased the campus and San Francisco. We also incorporated our virtual town hall, which we thought was important to be able to have a virtual component for those people who couldn't come. And we also launched our first UC Law Day of Giving. As you know, we participate in Giving Tuesday, but we wanted to have something that was just specific to the law school. So that was our first year. Next slide, please. In our second year, gangbusters. That's all I can really say. It was super fun. We are almost every single one of, actually all of our events had double and triple the attendance and tickets sold. We would have made more money, but our Giants Dodgers event at the stadium, we ended up having to buy double the tickets, which is wonderful, than we thought we were going to have to. So we rented out City Hall. Natalie and her class absolutely showed up for it. It was so much fun. Our Day of Giving, shout out to Hayden, it absolutely almost doubled from the year before. Our milestone reunion jazz brunch was double the attendance. Also, our virtual town hall tripled the attendance. Same with the Giants game. Next slide, please. One of the biggest takeaways from Spring Week this last year that we made a huge change to was to make sure that we had recent alumni pricing. So for all of our events that we had that were ticketed, we had children pricing, we had recent alumni pricing, we had faculty, staff, and student pricing. We really wanted to get those reunion celebrators 5 years and 10 years to come back to campus, but make sure it was accessible and affordable for them, knowing the amount of debt that they have and that they're just getting started in their career. Next slide. We also this year launched our UC Law online store to make sure that we had students involved in the planning. We were a part of what you all know as Beer on the Beach, but they call it Squad or Sharks on the Quad. You've never seen people love merch more than this hour and a half of being on the quad. I mean, the amount of flannel pants that you can see in the picture that were sold in a matter of 20 minutes, and extra large t-shirts, because that's the fad that everybody likes to have right now. Everyone was thrilled. And this is the first time since I've started, when we had Beer on the Beach, that merchandise was available to students. So we worked with our online vendor, who's based out of Berkeley, to set up shop. And then we are hoping to have them again during orientation, so that way students can make sure to get their new swag items. Next slide, please. Of course, we wanted to make sure that our second year of Spring Week that we got as much data as we could. Our metric of success when we started Spring Week was to have a good time. And I recognize that for some people that is not a black or white metric of success, but in the second year, we had double and triple the attendance. We had such an array of events, but then we wanted to make sure that we did surveys after to confirm what we thought about Spring Week. So you can see 88% of survey respondents said they enjoyed Spring Week. 88% said that they're likely to attend Spring Week next year. That's important, because not only was Spring Week about reunion celebrators, but it was also about bringing alumni back to the campus. So we want Spring Week to become a tradition at the law school. And then 76% said that it strengthened their connection to the law school. That's super important too for engagement, and then for donor purposes. I also want to point out that 24% had a 3 or 4. Nobody said that Spring Week didn't strengthen their connection, which is a wonderful metric of success for us. Next slide. And then these are the pictures. It was a great time. It was fun. It was engaging. It was a wonderful way to cultivate new donors, existing donors, and then also just begin an engagement journey for a lot of people that haven't been engaged in the law school. So I think that's it. I do want to share. You all will be the first to notice. You can stop sharing if you want to, Hannah. We've set a date for Spring Week 2024. It will be April 1st through the 7th. We've secured City Hall on Friday night. Most importantly, I'm looking at Ron Zolman. We will be playing the Padres, the Giants versus the Padres. So we will rent out Triples Alley, and either for Saturday or Sunday game, to be announced at the time. We will do our day of giving. We will do tours of the new 198 building. And we are so looking forward to our third year of Spring Week. So I'm happy to answer any questions, or Ron, you can just get excited that we're going to have a Padres game.
Excellent. You are always super thoughtful, Meredith, in many, many ways. So,
well, you know, Ron, I just wanted to make sure that you came up, so we picked the Padres. We knew it was important.
Will you put the dates again, or someone in the chat?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you, Charles.
Oh, thanks, Meredith. That was an awesome presentation, and I hope that that everyone here is able to join us for our Spring Week in 2024, and be a part of it, and also tell your friends and tell your groups to be a part of it as well. And now we're going to transition a little bit to talk about our new online directory, which I chatted a little bit about. But we have almost about 1,000 or around 1,000 members, and Hannah Athanasios, who has done a terrific job on this. She is our Alumni Relations Administrative and Events Coordinator. In just 7 short months, we have a whole online community, and Hannah is going to share how we can use Graduate within our groups to help us event-wise, and then also be able to connect with other alumni and tell other alumni, hey, this is a person working in this field in this area. I'd like to connect you with this person. So Hannah, take it away.
Thank you, Charles, and hi, everyone. I am so excited to tell you about this awesome new resource that we have available. Thanks to those of you who have joined during this meeting. I know a lot of y'all have heard me talk about this before, so today I'm going to focus on how we can utilize our groups, since that is what y'all are leaders of. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. I can figure out how to do that. Okay, here we go. So this is the feed of the site. You can see it's similar to Facebook or whatever social media site you have. There's this feed where you can post, we post our events, we post articles on here. Folks can ask questions if they're looking for something or a recommendation. We have the directory, which you can query by pretty much anything. So I can go into the directory and say that I want to find an alumni who graduated in, let's say, 2005, who practices, who was a part of UClass. And we'll find those. Doesn't look like there are any that are currently on there, but we're going to focus on the groups today. So as you can see, we have a lot of class years on here for groups. A lot of these were milestone reunion years for this year's spring week, and the milestone reunions for next year's will be on here. We have some specific ones that aren't chapters or affinity groups, like Moot Court alumni, things like that. Charles has created a group for every single chapter and affinity group, so you're all on there. I do want to note your feed probably looks a little bit different than mine does, since I'm in admin view. So this might not look completely right, but so these are groups for every single one. They auto feed everyone. So when you sign up for the new online alumni directory and you say you live in, say, Marin, it'll auto feed you into the San Francisco group. So you don't have to join it or anything. You would already be in there. So let's take a look at some of the groups. I'll use the Latinx Alumni Council as an example. We can see everyone got fed into this group from what was formerly called La Raza. So if they noted that they were a part of that student organization while they were here, they were automatically put into this group. You can post events specifically to groups, which is why I'm going to look at this one, because you can see here in our events page, we have an upcoming event for this group. So I'm going to go ahead and show y'all an example of how you can create events and how you can, make sure that the most people see them. Go back in. I'll put the event right here. So even though we already have the event on the general page, you can post it when events are specific to groups. You can post it on these. Just choose this stock image for now. So you can post all the event info here. You'll do an external registration. Most of our events have external registration. So we'll put the link there, the location, the date. And then here's what I want to focus on. For events that are specific to chapters and affinity groups, we always want to invite an audience so that we can make sure that people are being notified that these events are happening. So for this one, I can do it. We'll invite everyone in San Francisco. And then if I wanted to, I could add in that we want to specifically make sure that everyone that said they were a part of La Raza would get invited. And then we could send an email invitation to invited users so that they would definitely be notified that this is happening. The email notification will bring them back to here where they can register and see all the event information. So that is one way that you can utilize the groups page. You can also, I'm not going to add that, but we can also look at another group, which I know has a lot of people in it, which is our downtown LA alumni chapter. You can see there are a ton of members in this group, and similar to the main directory page, you can filter the directories within the groups. So if I want to find someone in the downtown LA chapter that, you know, had any specific industry, or if they're willing to volunteer, or if they graduated from a certain year, I can do all of that within the group. This group had an event recently, so we can look at the downtown LA chapter hike that people were at. So you can post any, while you can post any events or photos in the general all alumni directory feed, we highly recommend that you post them within the groups as well, because then the most people will be notified of them. All right, so I think that was mostly it. I do want to remind everyone, Charles and I, for the chapter and affinity groups, Charles and I created all of them on our own, but you are more than welcome to create your own groups. They don't even necessarily have to be chapters or affinity groups. You can create groups for anything. There's no rules about, you know, what a group can be and what's not. And just in terms of the marketing for our online alumni directory, would really appreciate it if at events you could, you know, give a shout out, encourage people to join. We can create QR codes for any events that automatically link to it, so people can get on there easier. And yeah, I guess, does anyone have any questions? All right.
Awesome. Thank you
I thought this
so.
was really
Oh,
cool.
go ahead.
Sorry, I'll just throw out one or two things. First, I think it's super cool. I was just glancing at it. One where it says willing to help, is that people willing to help people find jobs, or what are people, or just everything, anything? It's just mentoring other alums, or what does the willing to help tag mean?
Yeah, our willing to help settings, when you register, it'll ask you a bunch of different things. If you're willing to help, it'll ask you specifically what kind of help. So there's things like you're willing to help look over someone's resume, or if you're willing to meet with them for a coffee or answer industry specific questions or things like that. So if someone is flagged as willing to help, it means they selected at least one of those. And once you go on their profile, you can see which one that was and connect with them.
So then would you click the willing to help tag to see what the person said, or?
Yeah, you can just, here, if we want to go back and we can use someone's profile as an example. But yeah, you can just see their, we'll find one that said, well,
Like I noticed, I looked at who's on right now, and half the people on this call are, you know, obviously.
Yeah, a lot of
many people say willing to help, but I was like, oh, you were just there.
So we can look at Stuart's page. These are all public, so I don't think he'd have any issue with this. We can see he was willing to help. He can introduce to connections, open doors at his workplace, and or answer industry specific questions, or meet for coffee. And then I can request help from Stuart if I'd like, or I can just send him a private message.
The other thing I wondered, and I don't know if it's more impossible or more feasible, but I wonder whether UC Law SF has a number of people participating in some way in the Biden administration, or, you know, just active in public affairs right now. And I don't know that that's, if you search the term Biden, you don't get anything. I mean,
yeah,
so I kind of wonder.
I don't think we would get anything from that search. We can search by industry, and if people say, here, let me reset the directory. If folks say they work, you know, I think there's a government option somewhere here, or maybe in the industry. Yeah. We could find people that work in government, and we can find people that work in public interest and public service pretty easily. But I would say, if you're looking for something as specific as that, I would post it in the feed. So say, hey, I'm, you know, looking for someone that works in the Biden administration, and everyone can see that, and folks can comment if they have any classmates that maybe aren't on there, but they can connect you with for something as specific as that. That's what I would do.
Thanks so much, Hannah.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Ron.
And I have a question, Paul, here.
Yeah.
Do students have, is it just a limited alumni, or do students have access to this directory as well?
Students.
The reason I ask is that, you know, we held an event in San Diego, and I invited a fair number of the students that came down for that did the 6 at 6, and they were very interested in meeting alumni in San Diego that were in an area of practice that they are interested in.
Yeah, students were invited to this as well. We actually have a pretty high engagement number from students on here. So you can see I just filtered the directory by affiliation and selected student over here. So this is showing me all the students that are currently on there. And I do want to note, this is technically from only 2 classes. We had a huge number of students from the class of 2023 that were on here and are now considered alumni. So this is only 2 classes we're going to see on here. And then once the new class comes in, they'll all join. Let's use Kylie as an example, or I guess she's not requesting help, but students can say that they're looking for help. So let me see where that one was.
And can I also reach out to them? Because recently there was a tax law conference, and I had the opportunity to get some tickets for free, and which I could give to students. And if there were any, so I reach out to them and say, hey, I have some tickets that you could, attend a tax law conference here in San Diego or wherever.
Yeah, you totally can. You can post on the feed and say that you have some tax law conference tickets to give away, or you can just go in the directory. You can search students by different student orgs that they're a part of, or different publications that they're a part of, and you can find which students are involved with those, and you can send them a private message inviting them. So here I'm just showing you any student you can message, and you can schedule a meeting time with them. We can look at Philip's page because we can see he is seeking help and mentoring also. So while we saw people that are offering help, there's also the students and new alumni have the option to be seeking help as well. So you could offer, yeah.
Right, like this one, like this student Philip, he listed business law as his field of study. So I guess I could do a search by their field of study. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Any more questions? All right, I'll hand it back to you, Charles.
Thank you so much, Hannah. And again, this is a way that we can connect with our alumni and with students in many different ways, as Hannah just showed you. And so this is a future that we've got here under the Alumni Association, and we're excited about it. I loved seeing everyone's face from this call at the top there. Just in the feed, and thank you everybody for becoming a user and starting to get in there. Yes, Hannah.
Sorry, Charles, I have one
Please
more
go
thing.
ahead. No.
So for those of y'all that have joined, if you want to shoot Charles or I a message, we can make you admins of the chapter affinity group that you're a leader of. So that'll be good because you can kind of control what's going on in the group there. That's all.
Awesome. Thank you, Hannah. I'm going to do a quick look ahead, and then we'll just open it up for questions and answers and discussion, or we can leave early here as well. So I'll go ahead and share this with you. And so just to look ahead here, if you have an event that you would like to put on, please let us.
Sorry, Charles.
Yes.
Can you make it a little big? Can you make it like full?
I'm sorry.
Full screen on your screen.
Are you seeing like a?
I'm seeing your next slide, and then all the slides down at the bottom.
Okay. Maybe that's the one.
My
there.
eyes, I can barely see.
Is that?
I think,
is
Charles,
it just,
if you do use slideshow,
use slideshow. How about that? Oh, there we go. Can everybody see that?
Oh yes, much better.
Awesome. I'm so
Thank you.
sorry. I thought I had it full screen before. I apologize. So this is a look ahead. If you would like to put an event on in your locale or region, just let us know. All we need is a date, a time, a location, Those are the main pieces. And then any other information regarding the location or a why, or just want to get together. Hey, we're doing a networking thing. Hey, we're doing this hike at this trail because of this or that. All of our events also have a mini or small donation to be a part of. It helps create a stickier RSVP. And that's either in the donation of $5 or $10, 20, 25, nothing more than that. It really does help. Obviously, for a chapter hike or event that might be a little bit more of a free event, we do like to not do as many of those, but we understand if that needs to happen. But we will always add a donation box with our regular registration pages. We take care of putting this on the website, email marketing, and RSVPs. Our team does that. And then we can also help with the online directory that Hannah just showed you as well, or you can post it yourself. And then Lydia, that you met at the top of our call, does a little bit of our social media as well. Just a little bit of an expectation for going through the year, and everybody pretty much met that expectation this year, but just want to reiterate that that each group does one event a year. And then if you're a bit of a larger group, 1 to 3 events per year is a little bit more standard, and we've also seen that across the board. So want to appreciate y'all very much. Again, we're always here to support, assist, and just reach out to my email address, woolencharles@uclawsf.edu. And then finally, just wanted to give you a few dates that you heard about earlier on the call, and then we're just going to open this up for question and answer and any workshopping that you want to do. But I also want to give you back some of your lunchtime if possible. We're opening up our new 198 Academe building in October. We have Giving Tuesday in November of this year. And then, as Meredith had mentioned, Spring Week 2024 is already booked. And it's August 1st of 2023. So just a couple key dates and timeline for moving forward here for the year. And then I'll stop sharing here, but I just want to shout out already downtown Los Angeles, West Los Angeles, and Latinx alumni have events in the next 5 to 6 weeks. So we already have 3 events already in our calendar year. I just want to stress, while we did do 24 events plus our spring week, it's not always about the number of events. It's also just about the quality of the events and bringing people together. That's our number one that we want to do. So don't necessarily over worry about the number of events. We always want to help push forward the number of events that we want to do, but it's also about the quality and bringing folks together. Remember that we just have 21 groups for a standalone law school. No sports team, no athletics. We are a standalone law school, and that is a lot of groups, and we're very proud. So that's it for moving ahead and moving forward. It's 12:42. We have about 18-ish, 20 minutes, whatever you want. But happy to take any questions, discuss any items, or we can maybe let you go early as well. Come on, we got to get one question. No, Paul, you're shaking your head. Nothing.
Not any.
I like it. Okay.
Thanks, Charles.
Thank y'all. We appreciate you.
Actually, I do
Any
have a
last
quick
call for
question.
please? Yeah.
So with the spring week, is it going to be blasted to everybody that has the millennial reunion years, or is it going to go out to every single alumni? Because I know it's open, but I mean, how's it going to get advertised?
So I don't know if y'all know this, but we have a magazine coming out in October. So we are going to publicize it there. And then we will be sending the reunion milestones, we'll be sending them an email. And then in October, put it in the alumni newsletter and then send an email to everybody. Also create the new website with kind of a shell of what the 7 days will look like. And then probably at the start of the new year, have the website ready for ticket sales and things like that.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you all.
Thank you so much, Natalie. Thank you, everybody, for being part of this call. And if you have any questions at all, please reach out to me, Meredith, or Hannah. Also want to shout out our colleague Liz Maggi, who's on the call, and Hayden Reynolds, who's also on the call as well. And Jerome, I know you joined a little late. Just want to say hi. And Julie Stockton, hi. And thank you, everybody, for doing everything that you do here to make our alumni engagement and our alumni association continue to tick. We have amazing momentum. Let's continue moving forward, and excited to put all your events together for the year. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.